to Brick by Brick, podcast given by me, Coach Clayton Guillory, as I dig into and talk with some of the great youth, high school, and collegiate athletes that have come out of not only just the San Antonio area, not only the great state of Texas, but all across the country. For this episode here, I've got somebody very special, someone that I know pretty personable, right? Got a great relationship with the young man. And just so you can kind of know who he is, he starred in over 40 episodes in one of the biggest sports docuseries in history. He's identified as one of the true sports icons in the game of football, starting at 10 years old for his entire generation. He's won multiple state championships. He's won 3 national championships. And he did all of this all before the age of 13. His name has been mentioned in sentences such as comparison to Tiger Woods, comparison to LeBron James, even comparison to the Williams sisters. He's been viewed on over 5 different TV and streaming platforms and has showed his athletic ability in over 5 million homes across the globe. He has over 230 followers on 230,000 followers all over his social media platform. He's been known as the greatest youth football player of all time. He's a brother, he's a son, he's a friend, he's an entrepreneur. His name has been known to strike fear, not just in kids, but also in grown men whenever he steps on the field. I have the pleasure of introducing to you guys the iconic Myzel Miller.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, man. So all right, so let me ask you this right off the bat, right? When you hear an introduction like that about you, like, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel a certain type of way, or is it just kind of like whatever?
No, it actually takes me back to a lot of the things that happened, because I don't really think about those things too much. It's just stuff that I did growing up.
So I know you said a lot of it has to do with just stuff that you did growing up, but I don't think you really realize the type of impact you've had, not just on people in San Antonio or the state of Texas, but around the country, just youth football in general. And I know, you may say, well, a lot of it had to do with Friday Night Tykes, which is true, but a lot of it had to do with your skill set, your determination, your hard work, right? And it's a big picture to it, man. I think youth football as a whole isn't anywhere where it is right now across the country without Myzel Miller and Friday Night Tykes. So I want to take you back to one specific time where we were at the YNC, your 13U year. And we had just lost to the Atlanta Ducks, right?
Oh my goodness.
And they asked to talk to us after the game. I don't know if you remember this, but the coach was like, we built this after we watched you guys on Friday Night Tykes. We built what we do in Atlanta. We built this team, how we coach, based off of what we saw you guys at Myzel Miller do. How does that make you feel?
It just, honestly, it's crazy to me, because to me, I'm just a regular football player, just like everyone else, going out there just working hard. But I'm really blessed. I thank God every day for the opportunity that He's given me, and all my people, all the peers around me, and my family, is everything. It's just crazy to me. Like I said, I'm just a regular person to myself. So that's why it's never too much to me.
Have you ever taken the time to sit down, whether it be on your phone, laptop, and Googled your name and see what comes up? Really to take a look at what, whether positive or negative?
Nah, I have Googled my name before, but that's just look like old highlights, from Friday Night Tykes, just to see the old clips, some old football clips that I haven't seen in a while. But as far as I've actually seen myself on famous birthdays, and they got my birthday incorrect.
You famous.
Yeah, they got my birthday incorrect. They got me a year younger than I am. So, yeah. Other than that, nah, I haven't actually took the time out to Google myself.
Okay. So, when you think back, and we all have these guys, whether if it's someone we know personally or someone we don't, that have kind of been inspirations and mentors to us. So for me, when I played football, I wanted to emulate my game after Deion Sanders. You know, I was a huge Peter Warrick fan as well too, right? And then mentors for me were, you know, my coach in high school, Coach Arthur Lewis, man. He was my high school varsity wide receiver coach. He was my varsity track coach. You know, he was in many ways like a second father, just in the conversations we had and some of the things that he shared with me about life. When you think back on that, man, who are the guys that have really, or people that you would say, hey, this was my idol playing football growing up, or guys that helped shape you along the way?
As far as inspirations, like with football, people I looked up to, my generation, Tavon Austin, the DeAnthony Thomases, players like that. But as far as mentors and people that had like a strong impact on my life, really you and Coach Fred, like I really admire like what y'all do. Is as far as not even just like on the field, but like as far as just outside like, as a person, like who y'all are as a person and how y'all take care of these kids out here and giving a lot of people opportunity. Like I really admire what y'all do out here.
Okay, I can respect it. So a lot of people don't know, especially since you've stepped away from football, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. A lot of people don't know that you're an entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
Right? A lot of people don't know that not just a YouTuber, not just, you know, social media blogger, that you've got a clothing company, you know what I'm saying, and you've done an event promotion company. Why don't you talk a little bit about the business side of what you've developed?
Yeah, so outside of football, I really like to I share myself as an entrepreneur. Clothing brand, me and Jew, Too Official, and Glide Dev. We really fell away from Glide Dev, focus on Too Official. Make sure y'all shop Too Official. I have it on right now, but just came from working out. But yeah, as far as entrepreneurs, yeah, just like you said, like promoting. I just like to work with companies that like really just reach out to me and come out with, you know, ideas and stuff. So this is really not too much, not too complicated.
When you guys started the clothing brand, right? I know when you're developing something, when you're an artist, you say, hey, I like this about something beforehand, but I want to do it a little bit different. What were the things that inspired you with specific designs and may have said, hey, you know, for conversation purpose, hey, I want to be like, you know, Polo in this sense, but I want to put a different twist on it. What were the brands that you guys were looking at?
As far as brands, like the popular brands, like Hellstar, you know, like the, you know, V-Long, stuff like that. But we really, like, when we design stuff, we just, like, be ourselves. Like, we just go in there, blank sheet, and just, like, start putting stuff on, and however we feeling. If we like it, I know they'll like it. Everybody else will like it.
What is the biggest thing you learned as an entrepreneur and business owner? I know this could be a tricky question, especially when you're going in business with family and friends.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the biggest thing, probably time management. Because going into this, I really underestimated how much time that you'll have to put into getting good product, good results. You can't just do it when you want to do it and expect good results. You have to actually put some work in.
It's almost like getting ready for football.
It's football, yeah.
And see, I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, Myzel. You know, and that's why I would always say, and even the great coaches would always say, you know, and I've heard Coach Fred say it a lot too, who's a great coach. You know, the hard work and discipline that you get from football and team sports, it really helps in every aspect of life.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't believe it till I seen it. Really, like, it didn't really start applying to me until like really got like high school level football and stuff. That's when I seen like, dang, this stuff really translates outside of football, like as far as just like developing who I am as a person.
So now, I know you're a big music guy. Me and you've had these conversations before. Who's your favorite rapper right now?
Favorite rapper right now? See, I can never just choose one rapper. Like, I always have my little rotation.
Give me your top three in the game right now. No Diddy.
Top three. Top three in the game right now. I'm going to have to go my GOAT of all time, Young Thug, Free Thug. Young Thug, number one. Dang, Young Thug, number one. Lil Wayne, not far behind too.
Okay, Wayne.
Lil Wayne and Future. That's my big three right there.
Is Future considered a rapper, or is he more of an R&B guy? I don't know.
Nah, he's a rapper. Nah, Future's a rapper.
Well, listen, I can tell you this, man. I didn't even know Future had just dropped his most recent joint.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be scrolling on Apple Music, which I do sometimes when I'm just like, man, I need something new.
Yeah.
And then I heard one of his joints, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's the I'm trying to think. Gosh, he sampled the beat from somebody. It was an older song, and the beat was what originally caught my attention. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, Future. But Future, the best Future was him and Drake. That collab album, What a Time to Be Alive.
So at one point you was telling me you said Drake was the GOAT.
Drake, I used to say Drake was the GOAT, but I haven't really listened to Drake lately. Now Future, like Lil Wayne, Future, and Young Thug, those are rappers I listen to on the daily. But Drake, I haven't, especially like his last few albums, I couldn't even tell you a song after his last two albums.
No, I feel that his last two albums been kind of boo-boo.
Yeah.
You know, at least for my taste. I know for some people, they, you know what I mean?
It's like the females love it. I don't understand.
All right, so if you were getting ready for a big game right now, Coach then gave you the pregame speech.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all done kneeled and did your prayer. You got 3 minutes before you walk out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
What you bumping in your headphones before you walk right on the field, get ready to hit somebody?
Shit, really any young boy hype song. Slime mentality. I go slow young boy, deceived emotions. Dedication. Probably dedication by young boy. Yeah, dedication by young boy get you going, get you that.
Okay.
That hype.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Dedication.
Dedication.
Yeah, dedication by young boy.
All right, so let's go back a little bit, man. How did you start playing football?
My parents just put me. My dad played football. My brother, I have an older brother. He grew up playing football, and Coach Fred and my dad used to coach him. That's how really I started with the Outlaws, because Coach Fred had knew my dad already, and it was coincidentally my first year of playing football. That's when the Outlaws started. Mm-hmm. That's when, because there was somewhere. I think there was something else before the Outlaws, but 2009, that's when the Outlaws originated. That was my first year of football. But yeah, it was just, my mom, everybody else in the family grew up playing football, so it just threw me in there.
And at that time, what was your outlook on football then?
It was just something I was doing. I was a kid back then. I was just out there playing with the flies, picking up grass like everybody else.
So when you first started, I know this has evolved over time. I know you talked about Tavon Austin, but at that time, and I think in one of your YouTube videos, you said, you might have been 3 or 4 years old playing flag football, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can remember back that far, who was your favorite player at that time?
My favorite player, flag.
And I'm talking about your favorite professional player, or maybe it was a high school kid that you looked up to.
I'm not sure. I think it was probably Reggie Bush.
Hey.
Probably Reggie Bush.
Hey, the president. The president.
That was a few years.
The black president, Black Bush. Hey, man, that boy, Reggie was a showstopper.
Yeah.
Reggie was a showstopper. All right, so let's talk about your very first tackle game. Because I know you started with the Outlaws with flag. Was the nervousness? Because, transitioning as a youth from flag to tackle, it's always a little kind of anxiety. What were you feeling before and after that first tackle game?
Me, I was, going to tackle, I was never nervous because I always wanted to hit somebody. I never really liked flag. When I was playing flag, I always wanted to play tackle. You can ask my mom. She's like, you have to wait, because I played 3 years of flag because I started a year early football. And I didn't really like just going out there grabbing a flag. I was trying to hit somebody. So I was really actually excited when I got the chance to go play tackle football.
So before that first game, did you have a pregame ritual then, or over the years have you developed a pregame ritual?
Nah, pregame ritual, nah, I just music. That's it.
So I'm same like you, music when I played, but it was always like a transition for me. So, and I remember back in college, You know, if we had a Saturday afternoon game or Saturday night game, we at the field house all day, you know, watching film, eating, relaxing, watching the other college games. And I've got my headphones on and I'm listening to R&B music all day.
R&B.
I'm trying to stay chill.
Yeah.
And then right before we would go warm up, I would switch to some gospel music.
Gospel?
I would switch to some gospel. You got to give him his praise. You got to give him his praise.
That's true.
Man.
That's
so
true.
I would listen to, you know, some Yolanda Adams. You know, I listened to some Kirk Franklin.
Kirk, yeah, no.
You know, I listened to that, and I would also tap into the Mississippi Mass Choir. When I was a little boy, my mom used to play that all the time. So that's just what I know.
Yeah.
And then we'd go out for pregame, and then our thing was after pregame, because we wouldn't pregame with shoulder pads. We would just have helmets on shoulder pads. We'd come back in, put on our shoulder pads, and then our coach would give us that final speech. And then he'd give us like 2-3 minutes to ourselves before we head out. And I used to put on that No More Pain by Tupac, boy. When I tell you that thing used to have me ready to run through a brick wall, I had to get that Hellraiser music before I walked out there.
That's how I am.
That was always my ritual. That was always
I started off with slow music, and like you said, like right before I know we finna go out there, I turn on some that Young Boy. But yeah.
So being here from San Antonio, and I know you talked about, you know, starting with the Outlaws, East Side kid, East Side organization. Are you a Spurs and Cowboys fan?
Nah, I'm neither.
Since I moved here, Myzel,
Neither.
Everybody loves the Spurs and Cowboys. I don't understand it.
Neither. I've never like had an NFL team that I actually like just cheer for. I just like to watch good football, but I think I'm gonna be a Houston Texans fan this year.
Okay, I'm talking. Now you're talking about language.
I think I'm gonna be a Houston Texans fan this year. No, I liked them last year, and then the pickups that they got this offseason, I think they're gonna be, especially the offense. The offense gonna be something.
Who's your hoop squad?
Hoop? I don't really watch basketball.
No?
Nah, until like the playoffs. That's the only time I watch basketball is to the playoffs or play-in. Really like that play-in playoffs around the area. But during the season, you cannot get me watch a regular season game.
Okay. So now transitioning back to youth football, is there any particular game that, like, when you think about your youth career, it's the first one that pop in your head? You like, I remember this game.
Yeah, either the Taco Bell game.
I saw your YouTube video. Listen, if y'all hadn't checked it out, go to Myzel's YouTube page, right, and it'll tell you about the Taco Bell game.
Outlaws, now with great field position, are looking to find the end zone. Hand off to Myzel Miller. Finds a hole, and he trucks past the Ravens defender in for a touchdown.
After that game, people was like, bro, what happened, bro? What'd you eat? Or what's gotten into you? I don't know. Like, that really just came out of nowhere. Like, I've never played before like that ever in my life. I think I had like 5, 6 touchdowns, like some crazy stuff. If you watch the show, you know I call it the Taco Bell game. Because my mom was like, somebody asked my mom, oh, what do you have to eat? Oh, we had Taco Bell. Now I'm thinking back at it, like, I don't even like Taco Bell, so I wonder if she's lying. Maybe she had Taco Bell, but I'm pretty sure I had something else because I don't eat Taco Bell, bro. Taco Bell is disgusting.
The Taco Bell game, either that game or the first year is Snoopily. When we went out there into Cali, I think it was the Richmond Steelers.
You talking about our semifinal game?
Yeah, the
when
semifinal.
They came and attacked you did go stupid that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Those are the two games. Those are my top two.
We put up like what,
games.
40 points on
I had like 5 touchdowns, 4 or 5 touchdowns that game.
That's the thing I think a lot of people don't know about you if they don't really know you. You really a quiet kid.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, I think as you've gotten older, you started to talk more and you've become more articulate, and I guess because you've developed certain relationship with certain people, if certain people around, you're gonna talk.
Yeah.
Right. But to a normal person, you're a very quiet kid. And what did they do when they came over and started clapping to the sideline, started clapping in your face, and Myzel Miller this and Myzel Miller that? Like, what clicked? Because you did go stupid.
Nah, it is nothing I haven't seen before. You know, growing up, especially with the Outlaws, you know, everybody gonna talk smack. We gonna get the best out of everybody, but I don't know, something, it was just like, it just triggered me because I really don't know. Because that game was early, right? It was a morning, it was like towards the early in the morning.
Yeah, because I remember we got up, we ate breakfast, We jumped in the vans, and then we rolled to the. So I want to say that game might have been around noonish to 2.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably what it was.
Wasn't a late game.
I was probably just woke up and grumpy. That's probably what it was.
You remember the feelings you had after that game?
I was lit, and I was excited because I know we was from the state, and that was our first year in that league. I was just really excited to go play in front of Snoop Dogg.
You know, and I think a lot of you and the rest of your teammates, a lot of the boys were excited to meet Snoop.
Yeah.
Right? To meet Dogg and play in front of him, you know, but also too, like you said, we would always hear about how great the football was in California. Just like the first time we went to Florida.
Yeah.
How great the football is there. And when you've never been to those places, especially as a youth, you kind of like, you know, is this really what it's about?
Yeah,
you
go in
know?
there, dominate, yeah.
So, now that you mention that, it makes me think about one question, because I know a lot of times people debate on whether if they should have their youth play local or play on the national scene like you did, where you're traveling to California and Florida and Louisiana and things like that. As someone who's experienced all of that, what's your personal thoughts?
I think you're going to play national. I just like just go see how it is everywhere else, because, you know, playing local, you just seeing the same players, you know. Like, I really enjoy playing national because, like you said, that debate, California, Texas, and Florida, like everybody's where they're from think is the best state, and I think it's best to play national. I really enjoy playing national.
Favorite fashion designer, bro?
Ooh, probably.
Don't tell me the guy who got the clothes that look like popcorn all over the clothes.
Popcorn?
Yeah, it looked like popcorn to me. I don't know. You guys in sweatsuits and shirts, and they talking about.
Nah, I don't like that type of fashion style. I'm a simple guy. I'll probably go Off-White, Virgil, or probably, Off-White, Louis V.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep it simple. I don't like all that extra brand stuff when you look like they wearing astronaut suits and stuff. Nah, I'm not into that type of fashion. I keep it simple: jeans, shirt, sweater.
Okay. So when you started with the Outlaws, from my understanding, Coach Fred wasn't your first original coach, right? Who was your first original coach, and what was that like?
Coach Mario. I actually still talk to him to this day, but Coach Mario, he kind of resembles you, but he's just not as on your level. He was really a good coach. I really enjoyed my time with Coach Mario. He was actually a great coach. Him and Coach Mike and Coach B were my coaches before I got to Coach Fred. Coach Mike, Coach B was my midget. That was my first year tackle. They were good coaches too, really. But yeah, all of my coaches, I've never had a bad coach growing up. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, nobody has ever told me like the wrong things growing up. Like, they just all gave me great habits to develop.
So, in one of your YouTube videos, you talked about, you know, the adults around you made you kind of not want to play football anymore. So obviously on the outside looking in, somebody would assume they was like, oh, well, it was his parents, or oh, it was the coaches he had, or it was, you know, whatever. Since you just talked about how great your coaches were from you being young on up, what did you really mean when you was making that statement?
It was just like the people that like really expected, like, how do I say this? Not expected, because how do I say this? It was just like,
was it pressure to perform?
Yeah, it's not pressure to perform. It's just like pressure just to like do something. Like, I felt like obligated to play football. Like, it was to the point where I didn't feel like I was going out there because I love the game. I felt obligated, and I had to do that. And especially like with my injury, it played a big toll on my mental state, and I was just fed up.
So in high school, you suffered several injuries.
Sure.
From meniscus to broken foot to a hip injury. And the narrative on social media, the narrative all over the country, was that, oh, Myzel is getting hurt because Fred and the Outlaws ran him too much, you know, or Clayton or Mauricus or whoever they wanted to name. Like that was the narrative, right? Whether if it's true or not true, right? And I found myself a lot of times defending that narrative, that letting people know that that wasn't true, just because, you know, a lot of people didn't know that you had hurt yourself triple jumping, you know, and things like that. And I think, you know, I think one injury was playing basketball or something like that. So, you know, when people ask you that question, you know, what's your thoughts on it?
I just think it's dumb because, like, I have a choice. Like, if I didn't want to, like, I didn't have to go out there and do what I did. Like, I had a choice, so y'all didn't make me do anything. Everything that I did was on me. So, and growing up, like, I know I vividly remember you, like, you didn't like how many touches I was getting in the game because, like you said, you used to say, like, it's too much. Like, I'll be hurt, come out the game, and go back in. You'd be like, why is he in there? And, like, at the time, I was just trying to play, but, like, I wasn't thinking in the long run. But
well, I think a lot of it plays into that competitive spirit. You're a competitor, bro, like everybody else, right? And I know that our coaching staff were competitors, and they wanted to win, and they felt like that having you in the game gave us the best opportunity to win. But at that time, I can reflect and think that, you know, my mindset was always, if Myzel is hurt, we got Zion that can run the ball. We got Juju that can run the ball. We had 3 or 4 other guys that could really run the ball. Let's let him rest a little bit, you know. And of course, I can't speak for Coach Fred. I can't speak for Coach Marikis or anything like that. I can only speak for myself. But I do know this. Those 2 guys always had your best interest at heart. They never wanted to see you get hurt. They never, you know, I felt like they never intentionally did something to try to hurt you, you know. But, you know, I think just as a coach, as a competitor, sometimes we forget things like that in the moment because we're trying to win the game and really maybe not taking in consideration, you know, what you might be going through. How many times have people asked you that question?
A lot. A lot. Like, I get. That's probably my most. Other than, like, how does it feel to be on TV? That's probably my most asked question. And I try to say, like, it's not on them. Like, I really put the blame on myself because I feel like if I knew to take care of my body at that young age, it would have been, like, way different. But
knowing what you know now.
Yeah. And I also think, like, you really can't, like, prevent injuries. Like, you could try your best, but, like, if it's like injuries, it just happens. Like, you can't really do too much to prevent them. And
the reality is, man, you can get injured walking down the sidewalk.
Well, yeah, that's how I think about it. So yeah, if I would have had the knowledge that I have now, I think it would have been, you know, a little different. But yeah, I just wish that I took care of my body growing up.
So out of all the Outlaw teams that you played on, and I know you've been asked this question before, you and I have debated about this before, which Outlaw team do you think was the best and why?
So it's 2 teams. Really, my first year rookie, I'm not sure what year that is, but I think that was the Taco Bell year. That was the Taco Bell year. Or
that's when I had, it was you and
LJ, LJ and them and Moody. Yep. And then, or that first year we went to Cali, we had Brooks and Tadion. We went to that team. We went to Cali we had Tadion and everybody.
No. You're thinking about 12U.
That was 12U?
That was 12U when we had Brooks, Tadion. That's when we played the national championship at Rice in Houston.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
No,
so
in my opinion, and I don't care what anybody said, and you know I've been everywhere to watch you football. That team to me, that Outlaw 12U team with all you guys, in my opinion, is the greatest youth football team ever.
Yeah, that 12U team was.
Because even though then there was no YNC and then there was AYF, but we was in the Snoop. We weren't doing the AYF. I still don't think people understand how dominant that team was. You got people that names they don't even know. Think about how good Poppy was.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
We had Ross.
We had Ross, Big Ross. We had Dwayne, who's the quarterback now at West Point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Then we had was Mace on that team too, the running back. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, Travis Mace. Mace was on that team. Remember played the nose tackle, little short.
Rudy.
Huh?
You talking about Rudy?
Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy.
Was a monster, man.
Yeah, I remember Rudy. Rudy was a dog.
Blocking Rudy at that nose tackle.
Rudy was a dog for sure.
Rudy was a dog.
Yeah, everything.
Man. And then Brooks. I mean, he was just a grown man. And then, of course, you had, you, Juju, Zion, Allen. We had Caden. We had Diego. We had 2 quarterbacks that could spin the ball. You know what I'm saying? You had the Stevan, we had Wayne. Who was our other line? We had another linebacker. God, I can't think of his name right now. But no, to me, that was a talented team. But again, I didn't get to see the younger team that you're talking about either.
Nah, yeah, that team.
Because when you talk about Moody, LJ, both of them, those are dogs right there.
Day. Lucas was on that team too.
Lucas, yep.
Roger, you know Roger, but Roger, he was a dog. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So tell me about, and I'm gonna describe it to you because I didn't get to see it, but when I came to the Outlaws, man, people talked about this game nonstop. I don't know how old you were. They said it's a game. It was a playoff game at Wheatley Heights. Guess you had a dentist appointment that morning on Friday. And they said y'all was undefeated. Y'all were favored to win. And at halftime, y'all was getting handled by somebody.
We was losing.
And they said your mom drove into the stadium from the dentist appointment.
Yeah, we rushed in.
They said you walked in the stadium. They said the whole crowd stood up
it was a standing ovation.
And started cheering. And you put on a clinic that day. Man, talk to me about that game.
Nah, so the whole reason I had to go to it during this was because early that week we had practice and dang, I'm not sure who it was, but one of my teammates, he was swinging his helmet around. And he hit me in my mouth with the helmet, and it was one of my permanent tooth that was real loose. And I had went to the emergency room that day, and they couldn't do nothing, but I had scheduled a dentist appointment. The earliest they could give me was the game day, like right before the game was finna start. She was like, all right, we had to do it. And yeah, they had fixed my tooth or whatever, and I was off the laughing gas and everything. That's why I feel like that's why I played so good. But yeah, I had just came from the dentist, like rushing from the dentist. They had fixed my tooth and everything. I was sleeping in the back seat. I didn't even have my stuff on, just my pants. But I was getting dressed, running into the stadium. I run to the stadium. It's a standing ovation. Everything, you know. I didn't even get the chance to warm up. Coach called timeout, put me right in the game. Yeah, but yeah, I think like my first 3-4 carries, I took like a 60-yard touchdown. But yeah, that was a crazy game. That was real crazy. That was one of my best games. Top 5 for sure.
Top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
I missed that one, man. But man, I've heard Corey Jefferson talk about that game 3 or 4 times.
I had scored like
my man said he said Clayton, you would have thought Jesus Christ had walked in the stadium the way people got up and started cheering and reaching up to the sky.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was before Friday Night Tykes. I've never had like anything like that. That was crazy.
So, in your opinion, man, do you think the competition you played, the platform you played on, helped prepare you for high school football?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I think the best thing that happened for us as Outlaw players was that dog mentality that y'all developed in us at a young age, because that really carried on like big time. Just like going into these high school programs, like we were like really premier to these other kids, and that's not even like not to knock the other kids or anything, but like they didn't grow up like how we did. Like we grew up just like I remember the workouts we used to do. Like I knew like if we could do that, like we can do anything. Like that's how I look at it. But yeah, it most definitely developed us into a better, not even better, just a better athletes, better people just better people.
So
for sure.
One of the things we've always talked about is enjoying the moment, bonding with your brothers. And one thing that I always found was interesting is that as we traveled around the country and did these games, man, certain players from other teams would always gravitate to you after the game because you're Myzel Miller, of course, at that time, a celebrity, a youth celebrity, but also, too, because you did so well against them. Do you still communicate with some of those kids from around the country?
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that?
I got a lot of friends that's in college football. I keep up with like from everywhere. Like you said, really the Atlanta Ducks, the players from Atlanta Ducks. I still keep up with a lot of them. Like a lot of them are D1 and stuff. But yeah, I still keep up with a lot of players that I played against or played with growing up.
Have any of them ever hit you up like, man, you should come here and try to walk on? Or,
yeah,
you know
I was actually talking to one of my homeboys he's at Georgia Southern. He was trying to get me to walk on, but I was like, I'm gonna go JUCO because I feel like that's the best opportunity for me.
Okay. So before we get into what's going on with the future for you, we've talked about the stardom, we talked about the good things, right? But not a lot of people know about the negativity that comes with being a child star, right? And I know some of this stuff personally because as your coach, during some of that process, we've had conversations, and there's some stuff that I know about that you don't even know I know about. How does it feel to be 10, 11, 12-year-old and get hate mail or death threats through social media from people that don't even know you?
Me personally, I've never took it. Like I look at stuff like that and I just laugh because I never take it serious. Because like, how can you send death threats to a kid? Like,
exactly my point.
And take it like when we played the Patriots, I didn't know like the coach was. I didn't know that stuff was said. Yeah, I didn't know that stuff was said until I seen the show. I was like, well, that's crazy. But I don't take offense. Like, I'm a troll. Like, I just look at stuff like that and I just laugh. Like, I find that stuff comedy to me.
Did you ever feel like there was extra pressure on you to perform at a high level? Because, I mean, if we're being honest, you were the star of Friday Night Tykes. In my opinion, without Myzel Miller, Friday Night Tykes is not as big of a success as it became. Did you ever feel like you had extra pressure, you know, to perform or to do well?
Yeah, I've always felt that extra pressure, but like I've never let it get to me too much because like once I started thinking about that pressure, that's when I start to underperform. I've always went out with like just be myself. Like I got here just being myself, so like why not continue?
For me, I've always had as a player games that I've done well, and then there's always a game where you're like, man, as I play it back in my mind, I wish I had this playback, or I wish I had this game again. Like for me, I think about my senior year. As you know, I went to Beaumont Westbrook High School, and our crosstown rival was Beaumont Central. So we have a game which is called the Beaumont Bowl at that time, which is the two 5A high schools play each other for the best team in the city. And this was when Texas didn't have 6A, so 5A was the highest division. And I've been starting on varsity since a sophomore, so this was my third Beaumont Bowl. And I didn't play well my senior year. It might have been the worst high school game in my whole career, Myzel. I mean, I dropped balls at receiver. I blew coverage. I had this huge hit that could have ended the game. Receivers come across the middle. My good friend of mine, Benny Chapman, he was the running back for them. He came across the middle on a post. They threw him the ball. I read it perfectly. I saw it. And I could have jumped up there and intercepted the ball to end the game. And I tried to go for a big hit because I was mad about how bad I was playing. And he turned his body, and I didn't hit him all the way. And he caught it. And, I mean, we ended up winning the game. But even to this day, as a 43-year-old man, I think about that game. And I'm like, man, what was I thinking? I should have did this, this, and this. So I say all that to say this. What is a game that plays in your mind, especially since you had so many great ones where you're like, I didn't play well. I should have did this, should have did that.
My worst game ever is Lake Travis, my sophomore year.
Your sophomore year in high school?
My sophomore year, we played them in the Dome, 4th round.
Now, this is when you were at Judson, right?
Yeah, Judson year.
Okay.
Yeah, Judson. This is the year after Hudson. No, what Hudson Card still? No, I think Hudson Card. This is the year after Hudson Card, Garrett Wilson.
But they still had Garrett.
No.
You had the whole Garrett Wilson.
No. They still had Hudson. Garrett was gone. But yeah,
and
that's
this is what, second, third round of the playoffs?
Fourth? No. Yeah, it was quarters.
Y'all in the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
So this is at least third round.
Third, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Third or fourth round, but we actually started off good. I had a pick and everything. First half, we was up. I think we was up like 21-17, something like that. We was up for sure. And then second half, like we just didn't make any adjustments. Like, and then they just came out firing on all cylinders. Like it was just bad, and I was just getting torched on defense. I was backing up 15 yards. 16
Did you get a pick that game?
Yeah, I had got a pick in the first half.
I remember being in the stands, and I was like, okay, Myzel got a pick. And I remember going to the restroom and coming back, and they was like, Myzel just got beat for a touchdown. I was like, what?
Yeah, after I caught that pick, everything just went down.
It was downhill from there?
Yeah, either that game or my senior year when we played Lone Star, and First possession, we go out. I had a good kickoff return. It was about like 30, 40 yards.
I remember that game.
First play of the game, little handoff. It was like 1 yard gain. Second play, that's when we score on a post to Ivan. You know, we scored real quick. And then, did we get, we didn't get a stop. They had scored. And then after we scored, it was just a turn. Like, I thought
it was over.
We came out like firing. I thought it was going to be a good game. Like, I thought we was going to win. And then after that,
they was ready. They was ready. The one thing I think and it's funny that you say that. The thing that I think both of those staffs did, Westlake as well. Lake Travis and Lone Star. Their coaches made great adjustments.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't stick with, this first drive didn't work, or try to impose their will.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't working, we're going to go to this.
Yeah.
And it worked. So, and that's the thing that I love about football for me as a coach, and I think you'll appreciate this as a player. A lot of it is like chess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just because you got me last play, or just because I got you last drive, don't mean it's going to stay the same. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize, because everybody wants to be so dominant all the time. That's not always the case, though. So, Jordans or Yeezys?
Jordans.
You sure?
Jordans.
I always see you with
Jordans.
Jordans? You know, you've been rocking them New Balances lately, though.
Yeah, I like them New Balances. They are nice, cheap, and comfortable.
Affordable, my brother. Not cheap. Affordable.
Compared to what these other...
Hey, listen, brother. I got New Balance on right now.
Compared to what these other shoes, they cheap.
All right. So, I know you said you're not big on basketball, but I got to ask this question. LeBron or Kobe?
Oh, dang, LeBron or Kobe?
LeBron or Kobe?
LeBron. I feel like LeBron is the greatest basketball player that ever walked this earth. Because, like, to ever walk this earth.
To ever walk God's green earth?
Yes, to ever walk this earth.
Help me understand this, bro.
Bro, who's doing it? Like, who could do this? Jordan for sure ain't do it for this long. Bro, LeBron has been in the league longer than he hasn't been in the league. And he's still doing things that he came into the league doing. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So, got to give LeBron his due. He is definitely one of the GOATs. And I can tell you that I'm not a Michael Jordan fan. Like, when I was growing up, I was not a Jordan fan. I liked his shoes, but I was not a Jordan fan. I loved when the Detroit Pistons was busting his butt. You know what I'm saying? When he left the league and the Rockets back-to-back callers Tueston, I was all on that, right? But if I'm being real, it's kind of hard to call LeBron the GOAT when he's lost so many championships. Now, nobody's ever played in as many championships as him either, though. You know what I'm saying? So he's got an argument there. But, you know, I don't know. Well, here's the thing I do think LeBron has over Jordan. I think because of how big, physical, and strong LeBron is, he could have played in the Jordan era when basketball was more physical. I don't necessarily know that now, since the game has gone more to the Steph Curry, was it Djokovic shooting threes? I don't know if Jordan could have survived in an era like that, like it is now today.
Nah, definitely not.
Man.
And I think, I don't know, to me, just like seeing like the old games and stuff compared to now, like the skill level looks significantly different. Like, as far as just like people moving faster and being like more athletic.
You think it's more skillful now?
Yeah, I think it's more skillful now, because you go back and look at the highlights from the 90s, it's a bunch of mid-range, floaters and stuff. Now you got Ant Evans jumping over 7-footers and stuff. You got it's just crazy. But I don't know, me personally, because I never watched really too much Jordan, and I just grew up on LeBron, so that's why I feel like LeBron's to go, because that's just what we grew up on.
Okay. So now, both scenarios I'm going to give you, you get the win.
All right.
Would you rather rush for 200 yards in a game and get the win, or receive for 200 yards in the game and get the win?
Receive. And I feel like because the receiving, it'll look better, and it'll probably feel better too.
It's gonna
Because them 200 rushing, them 200 rushing, there might be some hard fought 200 rushing yards. I've had a lot of hard fought 200 rushing yard games, but yeah, definitely receiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Friday night Tykes, man. Do you ever regret being part of it?
Nah, not at all. Even like just being like the introvert that I am, you know, like I don't regret it at all. Like I really appreciate the opportunities that it's done for me.
So now, as an adult, from the business side, the fact that no parent, no player, no coach, no volunteer received a dime from that show, and it was as successful as it was. Netflix, well, Esquire, Netflix. It's been on Peacock.
YouTube.
It's been on YouTube TV. It's been on Hulu. It's been on Amazon Prime. Do you feel like people got cheated?
Yeah, I definitely do. But you gotta think again at the time, like, it's nothing they could have done because the regulations of NIL back then, you know, people couldn't receive money. So it's just what it was. But yeah, I feel like people got cheated, but it's really nothing we could have done about it.
Would you do it again?
Oh, yeah. Even without the money, I'd do it again because I appreciated the opportunity, just having my face out there, you know, just because it's not always about the money, you know. Not everything is about the money.
Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of guys in college football that beg to differ. Right, but
not everything. Money's important,
100%.
but not everything's about the money. You know, I feel like having a good face card is better than having a lot of money.
100%. I agree with you. So now, with the way college football has evolved with the NIL, what is your, and I know you got boys that's cashing in on the NIL. Yeah. What's your views on it?
Nah, I think it's good. Like, I think it's real good because, like, why not? Like, you going out there and play, like, it's a job. Like, this is a career. So how you not getting paid for it?
Do you think the state of Texas legislation should allow the NIL in high school here?
I think so. Especially like Texas, the culture is football, and like this is one of the biggest football states. Like, I think the money that we bring it'll be something serious. I think they should approve it.
So for me, I think that, and I'm talking for you for a moment. If whatever school you go to play to next, and I might be giving y'all a snippet of what we're gonna talk about here in a little bit, but I'm just giving it to you. It seems like to me that institute should be smart enough to try to tie Myzel Miller, the Friday Night Tykes phenom, into their marketing plan for generating ticket sales at whatever university or college you go to.
Yeah, I've thought about it as far as the NIL, but like not too much because like I don't think I'm as big as I am. Like I said before, I just think I'm a regular person.
Bro. No, I get that, but let's not forget. Remember when Rivals put the article out of the 10 most searced?
Oh yeah, Max Preps. It was Max Preps. Yeah,
Max Preps put the article out of the 10 most searched athletes, and you were number two behind Bronny James.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I was in front of.
When I saw that, and I thought to myself, "You've got to be kidding me." You were the second most searched athlete, high school athlete, behind Bronny James at that time. And I think it was Bronny James, it was you.
And LaMelo.
And Melo.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Think about that.
Nah, that was crazy. When I seen that, I was surprised because I was like, Bronny James, LaMelo, like these are, it's like levels to this. Like I always knew I was known, but like they known. I've never thought I was at that level.
But think about it, Myzel. You've been on over 5 million televisions in people's home across the world. there are under the radar videos about you with over 1 million views, bro.
Yeah, I see. I still be
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And all because you was a kid having fun.
That's really all it was, just going out there and doing what I had to do. That's all it was. That's why I think I never think too much about it, because it was just something that I did. I just happened to be blessed to be good, gifted.
You consider yourself a mama's boy or a daddy's boy?
Mama's boy.
All day
Mama's
long.
boy.
Hey.
I'm a mama's boy, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know you ride for sure. That's for sure. All right, so as we talk about your high school career, and we've talked about the injuries, right? Played your first two, your freshman and sophomore year at Judson High School. Mm-hmm. Then your junior and senior year, you transferred to Cornerstone Christian, which is a private school here. And then, of course, in the offseason, you would do 7-on-7 with DEFCON Texas. Talk to me about being able to play at both schools, really. Being able to play with your old teammates that you've always grown up with at the Outlaws, and what that was like.
Yeah, I love that. Like, really everywhere I play, I've always had like a group of guys that I play with, and that we was always an advantage because we always like knew how it was like on the field. We always knew how we would perform. We knew the ins and outs of each other. But yeah, I really always I love that. I've always grew up playing with people that I played a lot of football with.
So I don't think people understand. Like, so Lucas Coley, Diego Narezo, Zion LeGrant, Cedric Juju Thomas, Alan Caraccio, Esteban Guillory, Moody, Donald Moody. Gosh, who else have I missed that you? LJ Bowens.
LJ, yeah.
Who else did you play in high school with that you also, played with at the Outlaws? That I might be missing.
LJ, who else?
Like, a lot of people don't get to do that, man.
Nah, it's so many that you really can't think.
Yeah.
Nah, it was a lot of us. Nah, Traylon, he always played with the All-Stars or like the Beast. It was like another East Side team.
Gotcha.
But we used to always trying to get Traylon. He just never wanted to play with us.
All right, so we talked about the torn meniscus. We talked about the broken foot. We talked about the hip. And I know you even showed the x-ray of your broken foot on one of your YouTube videos on your YouTube channel, right? At that time, what were you doing to cope with the pain and maybe the frustration of not being able to play?
Nothing I could do but just play the game. Like, that's literally how I handled my injuries. I would just sit on the game, sad all day.
Play.
Yeah, like, cause I really couldn't do anything else. But nah, them injuries definitely play a major role in me as far as like my mental, especially that last one I broke my foot my senior year, because I had so much plans. I had so many plans going in to my senior year, like things like I wanted to do. I had a lot of goals that I wanted to hit too, and I didn't get to achieve them because my season got cut short. But
well, I tell you what though, that the play you made when you injured your foot, if I'm gonna go out, that's the way I'm gonna go out.
It wasn't even that play. You talking about the hurdle?
When you jumped over the dude?
Yeah, it
I
was.
You came down, and that's when your
No,
foot was
I was still fine after that. I didn't break my foot to the third quarter. That play that was before half, so it was like the late third quarter.
Myzel got the ball, pop. He hit that left side. Old boy tried to, Myzel hurdled him. Bloom and landed.
Yeah.
And then it came, and I thought that was the play. I thought
everybody think I hurt my play on it. That was not the play I hurt my foot. It was actually a running play. It was a big pile. Someone had actually landed on my foot, and at that time, I didn't even think my foot was broken. Like, I felt the pain and stuff, but I was still on the field. I didn't even come out because it was a second down. And then the third down, we passed and then we punted. And I came on next offensive possession too, and I really didn't take myself out to like the fourth, really the end of the fourth. And I went the whole weekend, no boot, no nothing. I didn't even know it was broken until that next Monday when Miss Amanda. I went to the training room, and Miss Amanda she didn't even take my sock off all the way, and she was like, Myzel, like, how are you walking? I was like, what you mean? She was like, I think your foot is broken. And I was like, nah, you can't be serious. And yeah, it turned out it was broken. I got an X-ray in like the next 2 hours, and it was broken. It was crazy.
Reflecting back, what do you feel like you learned from those experiences?
The major thing that I learned to being away from football is taking care of my body. Like, I really put a lot of time and a lot of research. Like, I'd be on YouTube just looking up, like, how to be a better athlete, like, overall, take care of your body, like, what to eat, you know, how much water you should be drinking, like, when you should eat, how much protein you should be intaking, and stuff like that. And, like,
a lot of people don't understand your body can only absorb so much protein.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And, yeah, I really, I forgot who told me this, but the analogy, I like, think of your body like a car. Like, what you put into it is like what you're going to get out. So
100%.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, the amount of rest you give yourself,
yeah, that too.
Sleep. You know, people don't understand how much water intake is crucial for muscles. You know what I mean? Your rehab process, all of that, man. So let's talk about some of the guys you've played with. Navon Cooper.
Yep. Cool.
Wide receiver, Prairie View, Division I program. Caden Bosanko, quarterback, Texas Lutheran University, D3 program.
Sure.
Esteban Guillory, Army West Point, D1 program. Zion LeGrant had a great PWO opportunity, UTSA, D1 program. Diego Narezo went to Crown College, Division III, did phenomenal there, broke almost every passing record they have there. Alan Caraccio, Trinity Valley Junior College, did some great things there. Cedric Juju Thomas, Assumption University, you know, took advantage of a great Division II opportunity there. Brooks playing at A&M Kingsville Division II. Do you ever feel like, because you were the star of that entire group, do you ever feel like you shortchanged yourself by stopping to play football?
Yeah, that's why I feel like that was one of the major reasons I decided to play. Not even like I short-term. It's just like I feel like I shorted myself, like not other people. Like every decision I make is like for myself. I don't really care too much what other people say. But I feel like I shorted myself for sure. Just seeing my brothers going out there and shine, and knowing I could be out there too. But I also appreciate the time that I've taken away from the game too, just to develop that mental side. Because, like I said, I've been taking more care of my body, and I've been studying the game, just like being away from it. So that's all I can do, just studying the game, taking care of my body. So let's talk
about that for a moment. When you're away from the game, and I can tell you, it changes you.
Yeah, it definitely does.
When I stopped playing football, I couldn't watch the NFL for at least 4 years because I felt like I was good enough to be out there.
Yeah, that's just
And then once I got older and I had stopped working out, then I started watching NFL again because I can't do it no more.
Yeah.
Right? So, but once I got through with training camp and stuff like that, man, I wouldn't even watch the NFL. So, what were you going through in that? I know you were, doing the research to learn about your body, but mental state is always key. What were you going through? What were your thoughts? What were some of the things that you had to see to make you realize, you know what? I do miss and love this game.
So when I first stopped playing, like I was, like you said, I wasn't like I didn't want to watch football because I'll be watching the college football game and like it'll be my homeboys out there, so like it'll hit different. Like it's my homeboys, like these people I talk to every day. If they out there, I know I could be out there, but it actually took me some time for me to actually be able to sit there and actually watch the games again. And then like when I did, like I was like, it was just this feeling like I don't know, I can't even explain the feeling, but I just got the itch to be out there again, and that's what inspired me to start working out and get my body right. And
so you're at Texas Southern, working on your business degree, being an entrepreneur. You and your cousin had your own apartment, different things like that. I knew you were along from the different from the fashion show, but you were, I'm sorry, from the clothing brand, but you guys also, you were YouTube blogging, things
Yeah.
like that. What happens when you go to a Texas Southern game? And I know you had to go to Texas Southern and Prairie View game. You can't tell me you didn't go to that one.
I did, but I was there. And I was like, I was very unimpressed because I've only been to one HBCU game, and that was like my sophomore. It was actually PV versus TSU, and it was a real good game. But like, I was out there, and it was just like whatever. It was just whatever. But the atmosphere is crazy though. Like the atmosphere is second to none. Like it's crazy. Like if you want to have a good time, HBCU games is something to check.
Did anyone from the coaching staff at Texas Southern reach out once they find out you were a student there?
Nah, not the coaching staff, but a lot of the players. Because I know a lot of players. A lot of them come from San Antonio or like Houston area, but. Every time they see one of the players see me on campus, they're like, bro, come play with us, bro. Why you not at practice with us? And yeah, I think that got into my head too, as far as I want to play again. But I know I didn't want to play at Texas Southern.
Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A?
Cane's.
All day?
Yeah, Cane's.
Not even close?
Nah.
Not even with Chick-fil-A having the mac and cheese as a side?
Nah, Cane's.
What's your go-to when you at Cane's?
Oh, the box combo. Extra fries, no coleslaw with a high C.
Extra fries. See, I got to do the extra toast with no
nah.
coleslaw.
I eat the toast, but not extra toast. You got to get the extra fries. You got to get the extra fries.
All right, so all your boys is home this summer from college, right? And it's chill weekend. Y'all riding out to Dallas or Houston?
Houston.
Talk to
me personally, I don't like Dallas.
Okay, so tell us why Houston would be your weekend chill destination of choice over Dallas.
Well, first of all, I know Houston better than Dallas. I know the places where to go and where not to go. But Dallas, Dallas was never a fun place to me. Like, I don't know, I've never really had fun to Dallas. Have fun in Dallas. I went out there a couple times, parties and stuff, but it's probably because I don't know too many people out there. That's probably what it is. But I know a lot of people.
And you got family in Houston too,
yeah,
right?
I got a lot of people in Houston.
What has always been more fun for you to play, offense or defense?
Offense. Nah, more fun, defense. Nah, defense was fun. Especially that year I was at Judson playing defense, it was real fun with Traylon and Allen and Moody and them. That was real fun, but I'm just better on offense. But more fun is definitely defense.
In your eyes, what makes a good coach?
A good coach? I think it's a lot of things that play into being a good coach. The main thing is having the best interest for the kids. I think that's really the main thing. But just, holding kids to a high standard, don't shortcut the kids. Yeah, that's just not being selfish. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just not being selfish.
What, in your eyes, and you've had a bunch of teammates, what are the characteristics of a good teammate?
Just doing everything right, holding everyone accountable. Those is really the two things. Make sure everyone's doing what they're doing. That's really it. I think those are the big things.
And I can attest to that because when we came over to the Outlaws, when Esteban came over to play with you guys, I think that's the thing that I enjoyed the most is that you, Zion, Juju, even Caden, Diego, you guys, Esteban, y'all held each other accountable. Yeah. I love the fact that Zion would say something to Esteban when he would make a mistake, or you would say something to Zion when he make a mistake, or Juju would not or even Dwayne, for me, man, that was key because I think when you're talking about youth sports, it hits a little different when your homeboy telling you, get your shit together compared to your coach who tell you that every day.
Yeah, it's just the chemistry we had, that's my brother, so we went through hell together, so I know if he's telling me something I know it's more than likely going to be right. Because, like I said, we've been through everything together. It's just nothing we haven't seen before. And just sometimes you just need to hear those words.
Even to this day, Myzel, man, as you know, I travel all across the country with youth football, with 7-on-7. You've been out to some of the 7-on-7 events and filmed filmed the DEF CON team.
Mm-hmm.
But even still to this day, I have tons of kids that ask about you. I've got tons of coaches and adults that ask about you, what you got going, right? And it's crazy because when we had the Battle 7-on-7 Nationals here at Cornerstone, here in San Antonio this past weekend, one of the kids was asking me about Myzel, and I was like, Myzel is at the front gate. It was like, where? I said, that's him with the dreads. And they took off right up there and they looked. They came, they was like, Coach Clay, that is him. That is him. I said, yeah, man. And they was like, why is he here? I said, Myzel, man. Myzel comes and he gives back. I said, he volunteers his time. He comes and works and different things like that.
That's why I like when you be giving like the opportunities out for the jobs, like the money is good and everything, but like I really do it because like I love being out there just to watch the kids. Like it just brings joy to my heart. Like I really love just being out there. So that's why like even when I not working, like I just be around. Like it's just something I love.
So how does that affect you, man, when you see people that are the same age as your parents or possibly grandparents or even kids, that they want to take pictures with you and talk with you and ask you questions? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel appreciated. Yeah, it definitely makes me feel appreciated. And it's just crazy to actually think that like people actually think that of me. And like I said, like I keep telling you, like I just think I'm a regular person. And it's just crazy how people have different perspective on me,
With you being such a child star, how'd your family handle that? Did they treat you different?
Nah, my family, like they always loved me the same, like with or without the TV show. Like they always gave me support and anything, but they always made sure like I was looking good on TV and everything. Yeah, they really supported me. They treated me good.
There's always a comparison between brothers, right? And I can tell you from personal experience, man, after I graduated high school and went off to college, my little brother hated that the coaches would compare him to me. Hated it. I mean, he wasn't the type of athlete I was.
Yeah.
He was more of a basketball kid, right? But he hated it, man. Has Zyrell ever showed any animosity towards you, or has he ever had a conversation with you about people comparing him to you because you were so successful?
Nah, he's never came to me. I'm pretty sure people compared him to me, but he's never came to me like with animosity or anything. And I don't think he think too much of it because like growing up, like my mom always told us that we're different, and that's just what we was raised. Like, that's how we was raised. So like he knows he's different. I'm not him, and he's not me. And we're our own people. So that's how our mom taught us.
Zyrell Miller, the 18 Willer. All right, man. So, what's next for Myzel Miller? I know you've been working out.
Yes, sir.
Right? I'm glad to see it. I see got your cuts, got your bill back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
what's next for Myzel Miller with college, with his business, with football? What's the skinny on it?
All right, so I'm looking to recontinue my football career. I'm not too sure I'm going to be next season, but I'm definitely going to be in the program next season. Really just looking for my best opportunity, just going into a couple of tryouts this summer and talking to coaches, keeping contact and relationships with everybody. And, yeah, from here I'm just trying to see where the best opportunity is for me.
Okay. I know you mentioned earlier that you felt like junior college was the best route for you now. If a program reaches out that's not a junior college program, are you still open to it?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely considering all opportunities, but I just feel like junior colleges would be the best opportunity to me, and that's not like I'm open to any opportunities, like any division, anything, any school, but I'm really looking to like prioritize junior college.
Okay. So, JUCOs, you heard it here first, man. Myzel Miller will be at tryouts He's
Hit me
back
up.
to get on the scene.
Twitter,
you know what I'm saying?
M6ZL, Myzel Miller. Yeah, if you want me to come try out, I'll be there. I promise I'll be there.
So, if I'm a coach and I said, okay, I'm finna give Myzel Miller an opportunity, right? Tell them what they get when they invite Myzel Miller to their team.
Just the best. Like, I'm gonna just go out there and be me, and that's not even like to have a big head, but like, I know what I'm capable of on the field, and it's just like second nature. So I'm just go out there and be me, and like, to be honest, like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be impressed. I mean, you're gonna be impressed with what I have. So,
do you think because of the time away from the game, because of some of the injuries that you've had to go through, and now your body is good, now you feel great again, right? Mm-hmm. Does it make you have a different type of hunger for the game?
Yeah, no, most definitely. Like, just being away from the game, like, I'm getting that itch. But yeah, like you said, just the time away, the time that I did take away, I took that time to like really focus on my body, really focus like just the fundamental, not the fundamental, like the basic, not the smallest details of the game. And I spent like just really the mental side of the game. Like, I spent a lot of time, putting more time into that instead of like the physical. Cause just growing up, I'll just be working out, and that's really was it. I go work out and eat a whole bag of hot fries after with a soda. But now I'm working out. I'm getting the right protein, drinking the right amount of water, and just getting the right amount of sleep. Taking care of my body, icing, getting treatment, everything. Stretching. That's really too stretching.
Yep.
Stretching is a big one. But yeah, that's all.
Well, before we close this out, Myzel, I want to leave you with this one last question. And I think your answer could be something that a lot of these, not just youth athletes, but athletes in general can learn from. What's the biggest lesson you've learned as a student athlete that you would like to pass on to those who need advice or following in your footsteps?
Everyone's different, but I feel like for me it was just being in the moment. Just living in the moment, because I was always thinking about the future, like, oh, what am I going to do this? Especially when I got into high school, I was always thinking about how I'm going to get to the next level, and I was never really into the moment in high school. And I enjoyed high school, but I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I was like in the moment, not worried about going to the next level.
Okay. Well, listen, man, as always, man, I appreciate you coming through.
Yes, sir.
You know it's nothing but love here.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, this
Appreciate
is
you
Myzel
for having
Miller
me.
here on Brick by Brick. We'll see you guys next time.
We both are here to have big fun, so let it rip.